All right, people. This is just a video, my tip of the week. Keep up with your MVR, your motor vehicle report. Mine got screwed up. It looks like the initial screw up was Mississippi, which in turn caused a screw up in Michigan. At least that's what Michigan's blaming it on, because I've been able to talk to them. Didn't get anything accomplished. One reason we moved out of Michigan. The government there, it doesn't matter who's in charge, is just worthless. I've never seen more worthless people that don't want to do nothing for a living. So it accomplished nothing. They blamed it on Mississippi, so I haven't been able to get a hold of Mississippi because of the weather situation in the south, and with the power outages and the conditions on the roads, everything's just been locked down and nobody's at work. So I wasn't able to do that yet. But the suggestion I have is, when anyone ever sends you your motor vehicle report, or if you're thinking about moving, because that's where the initial screw up is looking like it came from. I moved from one part of the state of Mississippi to another part of the state of Mississippi, and for some reason that's when things went haywire. So if you're planning on moving, before you do so, even if it's within the state you live, get a copy of your motor vehicle report before you do that, because for whatever reason, people within state governments just don't want to do their job ever. Can't say ever, and not everybody. There are some that do obviously work, or nothing would ever get done. But the vast majority, they don't even, it's like you're bothering them. And their first words out of the mouth from people I talk to in Michigan is, "There's nothing I can do." How do you know? You haven't even looked at the system yet. You don't even know what the real problem is, and you're already telling me that you can't do your job. So that made me real happy. But lo and behold, what it looks like is, when I moved from South Haven, Mississippi to Faulkner, Mississippi in July of 2020, I had to go down and get a new driver's license. Same number, everything was the same except for the address. There was an address change. Well, here they issue a whole new license. When they did that, it showed my issue date of July 2020. My expiration date's still the same, but my issue date became July of 2020, and the previous record of me having a Mississippi license is gone. It doesn't show up. So we originally got our license in Mississippi on 5/10/2018 when we moved there, and from that day up till June 2018, it doesn't show any record of me having a Mississippi license. Luckily, I had an MVR, an old MVR that showed when I got my original CDL in Mississippi, and I also had an MVR that showed when my CDL in Michigan. Now in Michigan, I got my CDL in 2009, but I renewed my license in 2016. Now, even in Michigan, my previous record prior to 2016 doesn't list. It lists 2016, June of 2016, up until I relinquished it in 5/10/2018 in Mississippi. Those two records together show this. The problem was, for whatever reason, Michigan, which blames Mississippi for their error in reporting, decided to issue me a chauffeur's license in June of 2018 till June of 2019. I didn't live there. I didn't ask for the license. I never possessed that license. I wasn't a resident anymore. I had relinquished my Michigan license to Mississippi. So when I called them saying, you'd think they should just be able to remove that record, just because, I'm telling you, as the owner of, that previous license number, it's not my record. It's not my license, and I didn't ask for it. Oh no, they can't do anything. Until Mississippi corrects their information, they can't do anything to fix that. Really? And they wonder why people get frustrated with government, because you have no control over your own personal information. That's the problem. It doesn't matter who is in that office, any office. It's the same all the time. Nobody ever wants to do their job. And when you're trying to fix something that's supposed to belong to you, they're telling you you can't. But some other agency from, across the country, they trust them to give them the correct information, but they're not trusting you. So anyway, that license shows up on an MVR that I had a chauffeur's, which is, in error. And in Mississippi, when they reissued me my license in July of 2020, got rid of that previous record. So supposedly I got to call and get a hold of Mississippi and get them to fix it before Michigan will do anything to fix their end. So I got to work on that. But the purpose of the video is just, hey, if you're thinking about moving, even within your state, get a copy of your current MVR. If anyone ever sends you an MVR, download it and keep that record for that time frame, because as I'm finding out, some states, and Michigan and Mississippi both seem to be that, when they issue you a new license, that previous record, for some reason, it goes up in smoke, which makes no sense. And again, it comes down to who's getting the record too, because HireRight seems to do a better job of getting the proper information, and the way the information is laid out is better than, I can't remember the name of the company, but it's not, they're not very good. So I imagine companies use them because they're cheap. So yeah, that's where we stand on this. But I thought I'd make the video. We should all be keeping up with those records anyway, but it was just one of those things, how hard is it? You give me a driver's license and you just keep record of how long I've had it. But even that seems to be a too difficult task for some to keep up with. So there we are. I appreciate you guys taking time. Be safe. We'll talk to you.